rockets, anything, and in space. And that's the whole point for it to, because there's just nothing but moisture and that collective and ice in there. So you can now, the linchpins can go all the way past Mars, attach themselves to whatever asteroid, mine that asteroid, bring it back, and have in one of the Lagrange areas. So for the audience out there, Lagrange areas are those areas where multiple magnetic fields meet and there's no weight to something. Another death blow to gravity was the fact that it's not a constant. It could not be a constant because things weigh heavier on the poles of the Earth than it does on the surface of the poles than it does at the equator. They're heavier at the poles than they are at the equator. And the further away from the Earth you go, the less it goes. So there's no consistency about gravity. It is not a constant. It is a coefficient, and it's more so just an effect. And it's the same thing with the Planck scale. You look at the Planck scale or the Planck length or the Planck weight. All of those things are based upon gravity, and they're supposed to occur at 10 to the 15th, 10 to the minus 15th, the Planck scale, but at 10 to the minus 35 is where the proton and all of that behaves. They have gravity inside of there as if it's affecting it, but they've already said that at a small molecular level, at the nuclear level, gravity has no effect. So how is that part of a Planck scale? There's a guy, Fleming, that talks a lot about this, but you take that, you look at the speed of light. Is that a constant? In 1928, they saw that there was different fluctuations between 1928 and 1948 between the speed of light. And then out of nowhere, and Rupert Sheldrake talks about this, out of nowhere, they began to be a constant again, where there were fluctuations before. And he asked one of the professors about it, and he said, it's a thing that we call intellectual phase locking, where when they get different measurements for the speed of light, all of the scientists around the world will average it out to one thing instead of showing the fluctuations in it.
Oh, wow.
It's called intellectual phase locking. It's not
But is that
called
also
fudging.
Because of the crude methods of measurement that they have available?
No, they've been able to measure light, the speed of light, since Galileo was measuring Io going around Jupiter. And that's how they came up with the speed of light, was how he watched Io going around Jupiter and saw that there was a difference in how the light behaved. And they've been able to get very close measurements to what they thought was the speed of light. But it's never been a constant because it changes depending upon the medium it's going through. So there's no constant there, but they have that as part of the Planck scale.